Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and working the shoulders, as I noted earlier, is Aprylete Russell. How you doing, Aprylete?
Hey there. Here you go, Yolanda.
That
and,
ain't it.
and not to be outdone is Yolanda Starks White,
you know,
who's
just
hunching.
loosen up.
She's hunching.
Oh, it's loosening up.
Yeah, because we carry a lot of stress in our shoulders.
Oh, okay.
You know
Yeah.
that. As,
Yeah.
as
She's like, oh, okay, you know that. Well, loosen them up.
you're a yoga instructor, remember?
But even when we do this, even in yoga and what have you, it don't look like what she's doing. Hers has a little shimmy. See, she's shimmying. She's not loosening up.
Well, the shimmy makes me feel loose. So then,
I like it.
ease on down.
Put a little music in your head and then do it. Yolanda, that's a Sybil Wilkes move. That's not Yolanda Starks White move.
Terrible.
That's all. Huh? That's not you.
That ain't it.
That's not you.
So silly.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sybil, could you show us that again?
No.
With your Beyonce hair, go ahead. Show us how it's done, Sybil.
Yeah, you got the fan going.
The fan is only going because my air conditioning is gone. And so I needed a little something while I'm here under the lights to stay
All right.
cool. Welcome in, everyone. Have you had good weeks? Young Aprylette?
Yeah, for the most part, I feel like this week has been a week. You know, when the week feels full, it's like, ooh, it's a week.
The
So
week
it's been
feels, so it does the week feel full?
yeah, it feels full. I feel like
A lot of
okay.
work at work?
Yeah. And it's like, okay, thank God it's Thursday, almost one day to Friday. It
Or
just
as I
felt
like to call
full.
it, so happy it's Thursday.
So happy it's Thursday.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that, Justice. And Yolanda,
It's
how are
been
you?
good. It's been, you know what? I maybe I'm getting old
No.
because I really do believe that every day is a blessing, and I am just so grateful, not just to be here, but to be in my right mind, to be healthy,
Hmm.
and just happy and peaceful. Because as I look around, it's a
Yeah.
lot of other. So yeah, I am just in a permanent season of gratitude.
That's very nice. Good
I
for
love
you.
that.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Say that a little more convincingly. So hold on. Wait. I am just so grateful to be here, and I'm just in a season of gratitude.
Well, good for you.
That's all you got. Okay.
That wasn't convincing enough.
Yeah, well, if that's what you got, I'll take it.
Well, good for
There
you.
you go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Let's do a reverse. You said, and let me tell you another way of doing that.
I'm really glad in my old age to be happy and here to because a lot of people can't be here, and so uh, I wake up with a joyfulness in my heart and a spirit of ongoing grace and gratefulness, and here we are.
Wow, so well, that is really cool. Good for you. That's a great perspective to have on life. You know what? I am gonna carry that with me, and thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. What? How was that for you, Aprylette?
Yeah, April, how'd that work for you?
That works. That works.
I don't feel like it worked, but
I
okay.
don't know because it sounds like you biting your tongue.
Right. It was like, that worked. That worked.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
If that's the way you best friends want to do it, okay.
Okay. Okay. Did you go out and play today, Aprylette? It's still warm here in the DFW area.
It is very warm. I did not get a chance to play. I did take 2 walks, so that was good, but I didn't get a chance to
Walks
play.
that were dog related.
Doggy related for sure. Yeah, you
Yolanda?
know what? Gucci's on my bad side. He's still on my bad side, but Yolanda,
Why?
take it away.
No. Why is he on your bad side?
Gucci, you want to tell the folks?
Has he adjusted to being back
home?
into your space?
He is adjusting. Yeah.
Did he leave a mark somewhere?
No,
again?
he did not. He's good. He's good in that area. It's just, I don't know what it is, or maybe I just got too comfortable of being just single without having a dog.
So
I don't know what it is.
Let me be corny for a minute because
Go
this is
ahead.
kind of an emotional day for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can encourage you, whatever it is that you're feeling, make it all good and really, really cherish this time that you have with him, because I am watching my puppy leave me every day. It's a weird feeling, because I told somebody the other day that this is, so I am great because my daddy said I was great. And he just really poured that into me. And so my daddy made me this great person that I am. But even with that, the single most thing that has changed me is my puppy Ramsey.
Yeah.
Ramsey has changed who I am for the better.
For real.
He really. And I'm just so grateful, because I feel bad. I owe Sybil an apology, because I was telling Sybil the other day, and Sybil, being who she is and feeling the way she feels, she was, oh, and I was like, whoa. We're not
gonna have all that.
We ain't doing that. The only thing that I have space for in my heart is to celebrate and be grateful, because I'm in this grateful season that I had an opportunity to experience him. But even with that, okay, you see that, Aprylete? Exactly.
Don't make me sad, because even though I'm just like Gucci is literally my heart. 13 years worth of just love, pure joy with him. So Goody Daddy, she has turned my little that I want to give you into love. He is just a senior old man. So sometimes those old grumpy men. So Goody is just in that essence right now. I'm just like, what is the matter? But yes, I receive that wholeheartedly, and I definitely feel you, and my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry.
I receive
it.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch Ramsey, and it's very interesting to watch Ramsey and Yolanda, and Ramsey's response to Yolanda, as well as Ramsey's response to Yolanda's husband and his brother from another mother, Lawler, because Lawler is like Mr. Chill. He doesn't let anything bother him. Lawler still has the spirit and the abundance of the pup that he was many years ago. And Ramsey is in that season of decline. And so, and he really is an old black man.
Right. And the Civil War said that today when you came over, he responded great to you. He went outside and, he showed some life.
He did.
But when Ward said when you left,
Ramsey.
And I'm sorry I left, because I knew he was going outside, and I thought they were on their way, and I said, does that mean a walk? And he said, no, it's more of a walk around for Ramsey. And then he's back inside the house.
But
how old is your baby?
He is, so we got him in 2014, so he's 12.
Okay, 12. Yep.
So in dog lives, that's like
13 or 14.
Yeah, he's old.
It was 13 or 14. Yeah. But so anyway, I just cherish and celebrate the time and yeah.
And you know what? And I know we need to get to the newsletter, but what's really interesting, Yolanda, is and Aprylete, is to watch Yolanda's change in countenance, her spirit, and everything when Ramsey came into her life, because she was all about, I don't want nothing to do with dogs. Dogs can't come in my house. If
I go to your house and you have a dog, I ain't gonna sit
coming in.
I don't want nothing to drink. I'm gonna be polite. I hope I don't have to pee, because I'm not going in the bathroom. So yeah.
And now, having Ramsey and Lawler in their lives is just second nature.
Yeah.
And it made me more compassionate with people too.
Right. Yeah. And animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like literally, when they say a dog's a man's best friend, that is a true sentiment.
I really believe
That
that.
is a true
Yeah.
sentiment.
As opposed to a cat or a squirrel or something like that.
Well, Sybil, I decided, Gwen, last week, whenever we were talking about my traumatic experience. Oh, look at there. Yes. I really think that I'm going to go to a cat sanctuary. If somebody suggested that, but if there's one, I want to do that, Sybil. Would you come with me?
No, no, no,
Will
no.
you drive me?
You're really good at driving yourself these days. You're okay. You're okay.
Okay. All right.
No, no. I'm not a fan of cats, and for the most part, I'm allergic to them.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That makes sense.
How you know? What if we go to a hairless?
I really that would just freak me out.
Oh, me too. Me too.
That would just freak me out. So, let's move to the What You Need to Know newsletter. What You Need to Know newsletter, and talk about some things. Aprylete Russell is our mental health and wellness contributor, and today is her day, and talking about coping with election stress. Every week you can find Aprylete's article talking about mental health and wellness, and this is very timely, obviously. We're about 10 days out from the presidential election, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm stressed. And I am stressed where I try to decompress every day and watch, the Waltons, or watch Great American Family or Hallmark movies or whatever, but people always want to engage in conversation. And that's cool. But after I have tried to get away from all this, then comes, a reminder of where we are, and all of that stuff. Because, for the most part, my day is consumed with all this. And when I try to get away from it, it's just what people do. They just talk about it. And so I'm not blaming anybody. It's really on me in order to decompress. But you have some really good tips on how to cope with the stressful period of this election year.
Yes, and a lot of and there's a term for it. So it's not a psychiatric official diagnosis, but it's called election stress disorder. And so it's a term that describes the worry and anxiety that a lot of Americans are feeling right now. And according to the American Psychiatric Association, about 73% of US adults, which is about 181 million people, are reported of feeling anxious and worried about the election.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. And when you think about a lot of voters out here, and so it makes sense that all of these people are feeling anxious and worried, because this election is so important. So not just presidential side of it, but Congress is up. So there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of things that is going on. And so psychiatrists are saying that the elevated levels of our cortisol and our I don't want to butcher this word, but it's a neurotransmitter and a hormone that we have that is pretty much our fight or flight response, gets elevated and increases, and that causes a risk of heart attacks, strokes, and weakens our immune system. So when we have an elevated response of anxiety, that can also trigger physical symptoms. And so with all of the stress that's going on with the election, it's very, very important that we breathe. That's number one. So when you think about coping and managing the anxiety levels, breathe and take a moment. So whatever that looks like for you, the box method, or just 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and just breathe in and out. Another thing is lessen what you're watching on television. So all of the ads, all of the debates, even social media. One thing that's beautiful about social media, we can curate our own content. We can pick and choose what we want to look at. You can turn off your phones. You can delete the apps. You don't have to be engaged in that type of way. And another tip is stay organized. Like literally come up with a voting plan. That's one thing that you can control. Number one, if there's early voting in your state, vote early.
Get it over with.
Get it over with. And like I said, come up with a plan. Know what you're voting for. Know exactly what's on the ballot before you get there, so that doesn't cause more stress. You go in organized with a plan and you can get out of there. And one thing I just want to encourage people, that voting should feel empowering. Like that's one thing that we can control. Our vote, our voice matters. So in this moment, if you're feeling anxious or if you're feeling uncertain about something, just know that this is a powerful tool and you should feel empowered. It should make you feel good that you can literally make a difference in participating in this election and really vote for things that matter to you and issues in your community. And so you can feel empowered or take that stress and kind of maybe turn it around to empowerment.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really great. I thought that was very timely, and I thought that the tips that you gave in reducing the anxiety and stress that people have, and and when I was reading this last night in the test newsletter, I was like, this is really good stuff. This is something we really need to talk about.
Yeah.
And then I went and watched the vice president's town hall on CNN and watched their the news people's response to the town hall all over again. I was like, damn it. Here I was in a good place and I wanted to watch, but I wanted to call Yolanda and I was like, she's not going to understand how I'm trying to clear my head. And then I do something to cloud it and muddy it up again. But it really is great advice. So thank you
Yeah.
very much for that.
You're welcome. And I will say one thing, there is a crisis text line for election stress. So the number is 741-741, and all you have to do is text election. So again, we're 10 days away. If anyone out there is feeling super stressed and the anxiety is on a high and you just don't understand what's going on or you're nervous and it's just causing a lot of distress in your life, you can definitely text election to 741-741. And I'll put it in the chat.
Did I miss that in your story?
Nope, I didn't put it in the story. I forgot to put it in the story, but I wanted to make sure that I got that number for people.
Okay, 741-741, and
Yep.
you text
election.
Sybil, maybe we should have Cherie put that in the newsletter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep.
It's really great advice, and I
can you text that? Can you email Cherie that information and have her add it? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
This is it's always good stuff in our newsletter, and I'm very proud of the work that people put into it. And sometimes, every day you're like, wow, that's a really great story, and then there's some days like, wow, that's a great story, and that's a great story, and that's a great story, and it's just so chock full. And I just hope that people are taking advantage of the information that is presented in the What You Need to Know newsletter. We'd love to have you subscribe. If you go to SybilWilkes.com and give us your name and your email address, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday. And when you do get it, it is free, but we do ask that you open your email every day and check out the stories that are there. Amongst the other stories, it is Black Voters Matter.
Yep.
Thursday. And Coy Malone writes about how Black men vote and talks about the Philly Bike Fest, in which Black voters are voting and encouraging Black men to register and to vote in the Philadelphia area. There was an event over the weekend. The Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church put on Black Bikers Vote Ride Out, hosting 150 motorcycle riders who engaged with Black male voters in the historically Black neighborhoods of West Philadelphia and Germantown. And they concluded with a voter registration rally at the West Philadelphia Container Village. Really great story there that Coy has done on this Black Voters Matter Thursday. And then I wanted to give an update because this is a story that really touched my heart because of the way these two Black women were affected. Georgia election workers who were defamed by Rudy Giuliani. And they won their case. And they won it in a big way. They were awarded $148 million for the defamation and the way that his lies just turned their lives. His lies turned their lives upside down. So much so that supporters of Donald Trump went to these women's homes and said they were going to arrest them, perform citizens arrest on them for what they did in upsetting the vote for Donald Trump, which was a lie in itself. He even accused them of passing a USB, and it was actually mints, ginger mints that the mother was passing to her daughter, who were election workers sitting side by side as they were counting the votes in the 2020 presidential election. So they're not getting their money. And as a matter of fact, Um, he filed for bankruptcy almost immediately after this judgment came down. But now the judge has determined that he has to give up a lot of his property, including
Mm.
his penthouse apartment in New York City, which is
Ooh.
supposed to be worth some $5 to $6 million. An old Mercedes Benz that once was once owned by an old time Hollywood actress, Lauren Bacall. Some signed memorabilia from sports teams and things like that. It's probably not going to bring anywhere near 148 million, but it's a start. They also want to put a lien on his home in Florida, but the judge, but Giuliani is saying, but this is my only home. Well, you should have thought about it when you only lied about these women.
Hmm.
But so the process is starting and putting these things in these women's names so that they can take ownership of them
Oh
and
wow.
then sell them. So it's going to take a while to get to that 148 million, obviously. But what's really interesting, and I pointed this out, and I'm going to get to the end of the segment. Um, he had 4 World Series rings from the New York Yankees years in the 90s, and he they say that he doesn't own those anymore. His son has gone to court and said he gifted them to me. Those could be worth a lot of money. If you
Hmm.
look at how extravagant the World Series and the World Championship rings are. But then putting stuff in your kid's name,
Yeah, in the son's name. So
yeah, yeah,
now
yeah,
they can't
yeah,
take it.
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this all works out and how this plays out. But some of the money that they're going to get is the $2 million that Donald Trump owes him for services rendered. Good luck in
So
getting
let.
that. So that is the What You Need to Know newsletter. As I said, we'd love to have you subscribe. Just go to SybilWilkes.com, and we'd love to have you a part of the What You Need to Know news crew. Let's move to what's really going on. And I've been kind of ruminating on this question. But and one of them is related to what Aprylete's story is. Are you stressed out
About the election
about
or just
the
stress?
election, or are there other things that you are stressed out about, and how do you deal with your stress? Every day, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see Yolanda's jewel, and every day there's a breathing exercise that comes along with the jewel. Is it enough for you just to breathe in and then to exhale? Or do you need to do something more? Do you need to take a walk? Do you need to exercise? Do you need to have sex in order to burn off all of this excess energy and stress? What is your way to deal with the stress? And are you stressed out about this election? Or is there anything else that you are stressed out about that you just want to share with us, and maybe some suggestions for how we deal with this? Obviously mine is the whole election and stuff. And I seem to get away from this during the years of the Biden Harris administration, but now with this fellow who's back trying to run for president again, it's just amped me up. And Instagram, and text and things like
Yeah.
that also stress me out. But I'm trying to deal with it, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. So I would appreciate your suggestions, and we would, just talk about it. Aprylete, do you find that your suggestions for dealing with these things that you gave us for the election stress, do you find that some of this applies to your life?
Honestly, to be honest, I don't know when I'm stressed. I think that
Mm,
people that are close to me in conversation are like, "Oh, are you stressed because of all of the things that I have going on?" I am so used of moving on a high level. And I don't say that in like a braggadocious way. I just say it like in a survival type of way. So I don't necessarily know when I'm stressed out until someone points it out, and then I have to think about it. I'm like, I could be stressed, or something
mhm.
physical happens and I have a headache, or some things like that. So honestly, when it comes to the election, I'm not stressed out about the election, because at the end of the day, I'm a kingdom baby, and it is what it is. And there is going to be, whatever side wins, they're going to have to go through and work with these representatives in Congress and things like that. So it's going to take time for whatever's going to happen. And I'm not saying it as I'm not pro this and pro that, but whatever happens, it's going to take time, and they're going to have to work with another party to get some things done. So I don't want that to be my number one stressor. And yeah, so when it just comes to stress, like I just said, I don't necessarily know when I'm stressed, but I do my tips and tricks when it comes to breathing and just all of the things that I've dealt with just personally. And I kind of shared some of my story. It's just I kind of wear that on my sleeve. Like I have to breathe. Like I have to take a walk. Like I have to be mindful. I have to make sure I'm not watching certain things. Like I have to make sure that I listen to just instrumental music sometimes without words because I know my triggers. And so for me, I'm just very mindful of the things that I do and the things that are in my space and the people that I talk to because that could lead to other things. So that's how I manage my stress. And then like I said, it's just pointed out when in conversation with other people. And I'm like, oh, yeah, guess so.
Yolanda, I don't want to say that you never experience stress, but you are one who is always like that duck on the water. I don't know what's going on underneath the surface of the water, if there's a lot of this, but for your outside, your countenance is always very smooth and very easy.
Well, I think part of it is, life is a series of choices. And every Friday, I remind us of that life is a series of choices. And I choose not to indulge in those things that I don't really have much control over. But I was telling Justice, I was talking to Justice today, I'm really not on social media. But today I was waiting for somewhere and I was in an uncomfortable environment. So I got my phone to play like I was really on my phone. And so I went ahead and went to social media. And Eva, what's Eva, the pretty girl? Eva,
Marcel.
Marcel, she had a post on her Instagram today that said that the ear is like a womb, and things that go in, it really penetrates the body and it seeps into the body. So we have to really be careful about the things that we allow to enter into our ear.
Absolutely.
And I am that. And I got to tell you, it's interesting and to just be totally vulnerable. Sybil, I think you and our relationship have suffered during this period of time because you are so inundated with this Trump thing and you and I are on just such opposite ends. And
we're not opposite ends in terms of politically speaking.
Right. No. Just the being engulfed in it.
Yeah, right. The consumption of it.
Yeah. Right. I just can't. Well, first of all, I'm not going to be negative. I hate name calling. I hate that period. So the way that we approach it, I just don't want to be a part of it. And so I've had to step back. I haven't removed, but from people that I love, like my girlfriend, she has an organization, the Black Women's PAC. So she's in it. And it's like, I just can't, as much as I love her, and she's been my friend since high school, I can't talk to her like I used to because I don't want to hear that. Well, I can't hear that just for my mental health. And I love her. And so last week, we took a trip and then when we got back, and so she said, so last week when I saw her, she says, okay, you're right. I can't watch the news anymore. I'm out. It's like, well, hold on. You can't be out because this is what you do. And she says, no, I have to be out. And I was like, whoa. And that just hurt my heart that this is what she do and she has to move. But anyway, I just say that life is a series of choices. And if you don't want that junk to affect you, then do something different.
Yeah, empty your cup.
I know that's so hard, but that's how hard it is. That's how hard you got to fight for your mental. Yeah. That if it's something you don't want, then don't consume it. You have a choice. So no, it doesn't. I just hate all of the discord. I just hate that. I hate the negativity and I hate name calling, and people that I'm on a text chain with some people that I really love. And like even today, like most of the time, I don't read them. I don't read text chains. But for some reason, the day I did, and I was like, oh my God, really? So that happened and everybody in the text chain supported that? It's just so disappointing to me that we celebrate when people are mean and rude to other people. I can't be a part of that. Anyway, how about you, Sybil? What are you doing?
Well, I just told you.
Okay.
She said she's stressed and she's trying to pull back.
But what are you doing to try to pull back?
Well, I'm like I said, after I finish this every day, I try to, turn off all of the news sources and watch something. If I am watching television or a movie, something that is totally unrelated, that does not have
So
anything
just
to
because
do.
you turn off the TV, do you turn off your brain?
Well, that helps me because
Oh, good.
the mind, kind of just goes with wherever the story goes,
Oh, good.
and they're not political stories or anything like that, for the most part. So, but like last night, I did fall off the train because I watched the town hall and I came away with a very positive reaction to what could happen after November 5th, and if uh, Kamala Harris is elected. And then I slipped and watched the roundtable of the journalists,
So why did
and
you
that's
watch
what
the
happened.
town hall?
I Why did I watch the town?
Why?
I was really curious as to how they were going to, because these are people who are undecided, and I'm
We
always
already know. So why'd you watch it?
no, no, no. Really, I still am. I'm still looking for that answer as to how people are not able to make
But
a
you don't
decision.
believe that. You don't
I
believe that
don't
there are any
believe it, but
undeciders.
I want to understand
Why don't you
why,
believe that people can be
because
undecided?
I can't believe that in at this stage of the game
Mm.
that you can't make a decision as to who you're going to vote for. For you to
Mm.
tell me that, then you lose all credibility as a thinking adult.
Interesting. Well, do you? Okay, interesting. Okay, so what
Because
about?
it's so black and white, and if I may use that expression, Aprylete, that it's unfathomable that you can't make a decision who you like. And these are people in a very important state who say that they just,
Yes.
they may be registered Democrats. They just don't know
I don't
who
believe
they're
it.
going to vote.
You
I
believe it, Aprylette? Is it possible? I guess anything is possible. But why are you open to the possibilities that
That people don't may not know. I think when you dig a little deeper and think about maybe your religious beliefs or your X, Y, and Z, and you look at these candidates, there may be something in on this political party that sounds really good and maybe aligned with something religious, or and then this party something sounds really good and aligned with how you feel about the government. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there. I do believe, and this may not be correct because a double mind is unstable, but it's just like there are some people out there that just don't know. That's a real thing.
I think it's an attention getting device
I think so
myself.
too, Sybil.
Hmm.
I think when people, well, I'm not disagreeing with you. My
Yeah.
opinion is that it's an attention getting device for people like, so who are you going to vote for? I don't know. Why don't you know? I
I'm
just haven't
still
made
doing
my
my research.
Yeah, I'm still right. I
Really?
just haven't made up my mind yet. Well, then can we get back in touch with you? Well, sure, yeah.
But
And
what,
that
so when you say research, what if people haven't done their research? Because there's a lot of people that are uneducated on
So my question is, why haven't you done the research at this point?
right. No, I mean that is real. Let's ask the folks because I don't know. But a lot of people may feel just uneducated, so they're like,
I'm
I don't
sorry. I'm
know.
starting to itch now.
It's
So,
it's a
and
real thing.
that's a sign of my stress.
I'm just
I
saying,
This
think,
y'all.
conversation is stressing you out.
yeah, this conversation.
It's a billion and one people out here. Like we just said, 181
That's true,
million people
Aprylette. I'll
have stress and
concede to that.
anxiety around the election. So yes, it is possible that some people just don't know because they don't have the knowledge and the education. Now, why they're not seeking it, who knows? But there are some people that are just like, I don't know.
Okay, you know what, Sybil? She's convinced me because some people are double-minded and some people are fickle, and some people do have a hard time making a decision.
Do we have any responses to this question?
They
Just
were like,
yeah, just a lot of
Ignorance, Sybil. Just ignorance. Is
yeah.
that me or
No,
just
no, the
No,
people.
the
Oh,
people.
Janet
The
Ferguson
people.
on Facebook? They want to be seen and heard. They already know. That's what I feel. And I'll tell you why. Because I hear this from a lot of young people. They just want to be seen. They just want to be seen, and so they are, and they're sought after
Mm,
for
Right.
commentary by the journalists, and
mm.
for
So in
them.
that retrospect, I can agree with you. For the common folk that are not on a platform, like, oh, I don't know, because why get on a platform if you're not going to stand up and pick a
That's
side?
a
But
good
if
point.
But for the common folk, they're just in their home. Yes, it might be the I don't know conversation. It may be I don't know feeling, but I understand on a big platform, people
This
still
girl is
pitching.
really stop
You
it.
I can't, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm really,
See, now I tell you what, seriously, that stresses me. The fact that you can get that is what stress, not that, but like even I was telling Ward, I was like, God, I am so ready for November the 6th to come because I want my girlfriend back. And he said, well, that might not happen. I was like, really?
because and I don't know if you're talking about me as that girlfriend or you're
Yes,
talking
it's
about your,
you.
but I think that come November 6th, I am really going to be packing up and moving to another country if what happens.
Well, hold on for a second, because you know we're going to London to see Vanessa Williams. So before you pack up, can we do our trip?
Well, I might be packed up and ready to stay.
Okay. Okay.
I believe you too.
Okay, well, don't do that.
I
Until you
might
get
just pack enough stuff and just put a thing in the mailbox and send my mail there to. I don't know. But this is really stressing. It is
I
really
see,
stressing.
baby. Don't stop
Okay.
it.
Okay. Let's move to trending topics.
Are we gonna talk about Trump in the trending topics?
No.
Mm,
No.
okay. Let's see. Go.
Well, first of all, I wasn't going to. First of all, I'm going to mention that my friend Jackie Reed and her play cousin Joyanne Reed are having a podcast on Sunday evening. They've invited me to be a part of, and just asking folks to join us as they are read this, read that. You may remember their podcast from a
Yeah.
few years ago. I was a big fan of it. They're going to be talking about the upcoming election, and so I will be joining them for a few minutes. Sunday evening between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, and that's on their YouTube channel as well. This is also something that injustice is also something that we are greatly involved in, as you know, with our social justice contributor, Coy Malone. Remember the story of Ahmaud Arbery, the young man who was chased down like an animal and shot by three white men as they are accusing him. He was out for a jog. They accused him of trying to steal something, of being a menace, and they killed him. They were put on trial. Now they are asking for a new trial. Greg McMichael, his son Travis McMichael, and their neighbor William Roddy Bryan were in court today making their arguments for a new trial before a Superior Court judge. And he was the judge who presided over their 2021 murder trial. Each was sentenced to life in prison. The McMichaels armed themselves with guns, jumped in a pickup truck to chase the 25-year-old black man as they saw him run past them in their neighborhood on February 23rd of 2020 outside of the city of Brunswick. Their friend Roddy Bryan joined in the pursuit in his own truck and recorded cell phone video of Travis McMichael shooting at Ahmaud Arbery, who was fatally shot. The only black person who served on the jury that convicted the three white men of murdering Ahmaud Arbery 3 years ago took the witness stand today as defense attorneys sought to make this black man say something that would make the judge ask for, or that make the judge agree to a new trial. The juror, only identified as number 380, was questioned about whether he lied during jury selection, about harboring no bias against the white men who chased a running Arbery in their trucks. They also questioned him about a day he bought a hot dog at a rally promoting justice for Ahmaud Arbery near the county courthouse where the murder trial was held. The man insisted he took his food and he left, and it was unclear whether that happened before or during the trial. He denied misleading the judge and the attorneys about his ability to serve impartially during jury selection that took place in October. So all of this to give you backstory and to bring you up to speed where they are. They're asking for their trial to be repeated, as it were, and they're blaming the black man.
Look, this is why voting is so important when it comes to these judges and the folks that are like,
Correct.
This is crazy.
And a lot of people say, Aprylete, I don't want to register because I don't want to be a part of a jury. But this is why it's important to
This is
represent
why it's
on a
important.
jury. There's a
Yeah.
member of the, and I want to give a shout out. There's a member of, because I don't like anything about the Dallas Cowboys except for the Cowboys fans, um, like Ward White. I There's a member of the Dallas Cowboys who is not on the field this week practicing because he was called for jury
Jury
duty
duty.
and he's doing his job. He's doing
Yeah.
his civic duty, and so I commend that. I commend that. Um, so they're saying bias on the part of this juror, and so it'll be interesting to see how this all came out. This whole process went on for a very long time before they even made arrest of these men, uh, and how their friendships with people on the inside prevented them from being arrested immediately. So this also came down today. The LA District
Wait.
Attorney,
I'm sorry, Sybil.
yeah.
What happened?
So the judge has not made
Oh, okay.
did
Okay, I'm
not
sorry.
rule on that
I
yet.
didn't hear that. Okay.
The LA District Attorney today recommended that the case of Lyle and Eric Menendez be resentenced as these two brothers. Uh, he said, we're going to recommend to the court that the life without the possibility of parole be removed and they be sentenced for murder, which would be a sentence of 50 years to life. And at this point, they would be eligible for parole. The LA District Attorney, Mr. Gascon, said because of their age, they both were under 26 at the time of the crimes in which they killed their parents. They would be eligible for parole immediately. The case began in August of 1989. It was a big sensational
Mm.
trial. Lyle and Eric Menendez, this was before OJ. And this may have been the very first televised trial that changed the face of daytime television. They fatally shot their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in the family's Beverly Hills home. They were very wealthy, and
Mm.
they thought that they were trying to shoot their father and mother to get money. Prosecutors alleged that they killed their wealthy parents for their own financial gain, and the defense argued the boys acted in self defense after enduring years of sexual abuse by their father. And why did they shoot their mother? Because she turned her back, knowing what was happening, what the father was doing to the boys. She did not do anything to stop it. Um, so now they are, as a result of the documentary that's on Netflix, and knowing that there was evidence that was not entered in the second trial when they were retrialed for this crime, uh, and there was a letter written to a cousin talking about the sexual abuse, and so now they're saying this is why they need to have the sentence take another look at the sentence for this. Yes, they did kill the father, but are they not allowed now to resume their lives after having put
Mm.
in these 30 years in prison for the
Did you
murder of their
watch
father?
the Netflix Ryan
Net,
Murphy?
this is as a result of the Netflix documentary
Oh, the
called
did you watch the
Monsters.
documentary or the series?
I started watching the documentary.
Oh, the documentary.
Mm.
Ryan Murphy makes me nervous with this stuff because it's all so over the top, you know. But yeah, the documentary, the Menendez brothers, I believe. Um, The owner and manager of the cargo ship that caused the Baltimore Bridge collapse earlier this year has
Oh.
agreed to pay more than $100 million to settle a lawsuit brought by the Justice Department. The settlement is with the Department of Justice sued the owner of the Dolly, the ship that crashed into the barrier there, and the Grace Ocean Private Limited and the manager, Synergy Marine Group, both of Singapore, as they're trying to recover the more than $100 million that is taken to clean up and to remove
Mm.
all of this debris from the ocean. Whatever happens from the canal, I should say, and whatever happens with the 6 people that were killed, the men who were doing the construction work, that's a whole nother case. But this is a case with the Department of Justice, and so the settlement is for $102 million, and this is just the first step in bringing
Mm.
justice for the people who are innocently killed. They allege that the electrical and mechanical problems uh, the ship were the cause of this, and so they are being held responsible for it and damage beyond repair.
Is this something, this may be like an ignorant question, but is this something that their insurance, because it's a company, so I'm sure they had insurance, would pay the settlement out, or
That's the assumption, Aprylette,
mm,
that they're, were insured. Sometimes they, will let the insurance lapse.
and
And
not?
but definitely it seems like a deal has been worked out, perhaps between the shipping company, their insurance company, and the Department of Justice. And a lot of these stories are really so depressing. I'm just gonna uh, go to just I know you hate these stories, Yolanda, but the food and the recalls is
The food recall
the
and the
food.
weather. Go, Sybil.
Okay, so frozen waffle recall over the listeria concerns have been expanded for additional testing. Treehouse Foods is expanding its waffle and pancake recall in all products manufactured at one facility and still within their shelf life due to the potential threats that may be contaminated by listeria. All frozen toaster waffle, Belgian waffle, and pancake products after additional testing was conducted at their facility. And a notice posted by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. They announced last week this included only certain frozen waffle products after routine testing, but now they're saying everything has to be
Mm,
tested. Numerous varieties of the frozen waffles and the pancakes now have been recalled. And amongst the brand names include Better Goods, Walmart's newest private label brand, 365 Organic by Whole Foods Market, and Target's Good and Gather. Those are all the
goodness
private brands
gracious.
are made by these companies. And so if
Not
you
good.
have these products in your freezer, on your shelf, then definitely you might
Sybil,
want to
I know you don't know everything, but you know a whole lot. When you did the story the other day about the
with E.
McDonald's
coli
lot,
and mhm,
and they took off the quarter pounder,
mhm.
help me rationalize that in my head. Why just the quarter pounder? Why not just the cheeseburger? Why not include the cheeseburger and the Big Mac? Big Mac has onions in it. Why just the quarter pounder?
So what I was told is that, and this is
Different
from
onions.
somebody who's been a supplier for McDonald's. Um, they the quarter pounder is a certain type or a certain weight, quarter pound of beef, and so it's a certain type of meat that everybody that goes for the quarter pounder, not for the Big Mac, not for the regular
Hmm.
cheeseburger, and so it's that type. And so
But
when
it
they were
wasn't the meat that was the E. coli. It was the
well,
onions.
no, initially they were going to do all of the meat and the sliced onions.
Yeah. So the quarter pounder onions. I used to work at McDonald's, but the quarter pounder, the quarter pounder onions or the sliced onions, and then on the Big Mac and the cheeseburgers is dehydrated onions. It's like
Really?
packaged. Mm-hmm. It's
Shut
packed
up.
onions, and you put the water in there, and then they
And then
And
turn.
it brings it
really
back.
a difference?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't eat onions, period. And so, wow, interesting.
So
Okay.
check this out. Yum Brands and their companies, Burger King and Taco Bell, pulled onions from their select restaurants after McDonald's E. coli outbreak. The supplier U.S. Foods issued the recall notification for 4 onion products produced by a company called Taylor Farms, and they're investigating if the slivered onions served on McDonald's quarter pounders are the source of the outbreak. And Yum Brands didn't specify how many of their restaurants are affected, but they're not taking any chances, and so they are going to take those onions and
Ooh.
so if you go to get your bean burrito and you don't have to ask for it without onions because they're not gonna put onions
Can
in
I
it.
share a not so fun, kind of maybe disturbing fact?
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna scratch again.
I have this thing about onions, the smell of onions. Well, eating onions, it makes me really sick. So
I
I
got the
can't
soft
stand
stomach.
it. And the smell of onions even more. So 24 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, when Ward White and I started dating, part of our dating is that he could not eat onions because when you eat onions, it comes out through the pores of your skin.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't take that. And so he acquiesced and he don't eat onions anymore. So he's just
Oh.
waiting on us to end so he can
Have
Go
him
back
a
to
big
onions.
onion pie. He gonna have him an onion pie,
Right,
baby.
right.
pie.
Yeah.
But yeah, April, let those onions, they come out through your pores, and
Yeah, onions
it's
are
like
very strong.
beer. They come out through you. It's the worst smell ever. It makes me nauseous.
Is it all onions for you, or is
Yeah,
it like the purple, the yellow, the
You
white?
can't even do the sweet Maui onions.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, they're delicious. Make
Okay.
sure we don't go to Hawaii again together.
Before you move on, are you done before entertainment?
Yeah.
Just wanted to, just because this is one of our faithfuls, I want to share something. You have a second?
Yes.
Okay. It's a
Oh
lot.
my. I got my first dogs. Oh, this is in reference to our conversation at the top of the show. Noreen Murphy on Facebook says, I got my first dogs when I got diagnosed with cancer, and it's been the greatest blessing. I'm so in love with Kingdom. Renee Murphy. Rain Murphy? Or Renee. I never liked or wanted a dog, and I didn't want to be around a dog. It's been amazing and a great blessing because it's just what I needed. I didn't want to be around people with dogs, but I'm going through breast cancer, and he's been absolutely amazing. King has changed my life and needed to be poured into the love, and that is just what he does for me.
I just wanted to send peace out.
Oh, God bless you, Noreen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Huh. Can change your life.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
change your life. I miss having a dog. I just don't. And I used to say that I didn't have the schedule to do it. Now, I'm getting to that point. Unless I get another job, that I don't have the time
And it
or the wherewithal.
and the
And the
money.
money,
That's what I was saying. The
baby, and the
wherewithal.
money,
The
and
wherewithal to take
baby,
care of a
between these arthritis shots and this Whole Foods and the
Oh, he
snacks.
gets an arthritis shot.
Yeah, so he does arthritis shots every month, and so it's been really improving. But it's like $175 a month. Um, that's expensive. But I mean,
And it
he's my
works.
baby. Yeah, like he has definitely. I have seen a significant. So he was gone for 2 months, but now, like even yesterday, I was kind of rubbing him because I rub on his body every night and stuff. The areas in his back legs, they tremble and shake when we're out pottying and walking, and I
Yeah.
like to rub on them. And he didn't have any. He's like he's been waking up without crying because Gucci he'll wake up and cry and he'll be like just in pain. And so since he's been back, I haven't heard any cries from him and things like that. And like I said, as I was rubbing his back legs, he wasn't squirmish and jumpy. So I really think it's helping.
Yolanda.
I got $175 to spare. Okay. Thank you, April.
I'll let you know. We'll talk offline, but I'll definitely let you know what shot they're actually doing
Okay,
for him
good.
because it's multiple.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Well, I was going to offer to do it, but since you,
Oh, well,
no.
no. So at one point, this may have been like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, Aprylete, there is this, it's like this cold compress that it was
It's a
it's some type of
treatment.
therapy treatment that I thought was quite ridiculous that the vet recommended. And of course, Auntie Sybil stepped up and me and Ward were looking at like, she gonna pay that for that. And it was a number of treatments that he had to go, like 6 treatments, and I don't even remember the price. I just know it was expensive, and I just
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
But
it
it was necessary.
yeah.
Mm-hmm,
So thank
mm-hmm.
you. You've done your part. Thank you.
No. Let's move to entertainment, or unless you have another.
No.
Okay.
No.
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, 2 popular game shows, are under fire. They were hit with race discrimination claims. Executives at the popular game shows discriminated against people of color, then fired them for raising concerns about a toxic work environment, according to a lawsuit. Staffers made disparaging remarks about Black contestants, the 2 former employees allege in their civil rights complaints. The 2 former Sony Pictures Entertainment workers said that they were consistently given fewer opportunities than their white colleagues and were routinely subjected to racially insensitive behavior, including crew members mocking a Black contestant's natural hairstyle. The women, a black woman by the name of Shelley Balance Ellis, said she was the highest ranking black production executive on the game shows. And during her 26-year tenure, she said she
Mm,
was loaded down with extra responsibilities but passed over for promotions.
not
And
surprised.
meanwhile, a Latina by the name of Monique Diaz worked on the shows for 23 years, said she was paid substantially less than a newly hired white colleague. And in April, they were laid off in what the company said was a corporate reorganization. They said the truth is that I and others were targeted by Sony because we oppose discrimination. They are both serving, and they're both now filed this lawsuit and serving their time outside of work and trying to seek justice
Mm,
for this. It's it's really disturbing in on so many levels as to what is going on. But sometimes after George Floyd, we thought that there was going to be a big difference, right? That they were putting in these departments of DEI, diversity
mhm.
and inclusion, and now that politically things have changed, and it looks like black folks and Hispanic folks are moving on up. They feel as though they don't have to do
Yeah,
that anymore, and so these women are saying no, it's not over,
yeah.
and we're being discriminated against. Uh,
I believe them.
Yeah. Wow.
Yolanda,
I'm sorry.
I was coming to you for the jewel. I thought
Oh,
maybe you had some words of wisdom for
I'm
us.
so sorry. Well, this week, Sybil, as you know, we're talking about judging, and all the jewels are always about me and what's happening in my life.
That's what you tell us, but really it is about us. We get
No,
that, but
it
that's
really
okay.
is.
That's okay.
Okay, so listen to this. Judging someone by their intention rather than by their mistakes fosters kindness.
Mm,
So judge me if I make a mistake. Don't judge me by that. Judge me by my intention.
yeah.
Well, because you have good intentions, you have
I
a good
do.
heart. Not
But
everybody can say that.
yes, you win. Okay.
You, I believe. All these other, I know, not true.
Well, I got to tell you, it's just because somebody that's really close in my life that has kids, when their kids make a mistake, it is always just so punitive. And it's like, it's just a mistake.
Yeah.
If maybe they really wanted to do something, just don't judge them all the time because we all make
By
mistakes.
their actions, judge them
Yeah,
by
we
their
all make
intentions.
mistakes. But what is your heart and what's their intention? Because I know that their intentions are pure. They're just good little people. So anyway,
Yeah. Love that.
Okay, with the exception of those kids,
it
um,
fosters kindness.
okay, you're right. Go for the heart, not the jugular. Um, thank you all.
That's
Thank
a
you,
good one.
ladies.
Thank you, Sybil. It's always a pleasure to join you ladies on a Thursday.
Yes. Yeah.
It's Aprylete Thursday,
It's
y'all.
Day.
That's right.
All right, everybody. I'll see you all this weekend on Read This, Read That. And if not, we'll see you next week. Take care. Aloha.
Bye.